Sonic Adventure 2 is one of the most beloved Sonic games, and in many people's eyes one of the best, and looked at one of the last good Sonic games before the Dark Age, while Heroes has a mixed reception. Though we're not here to talk about Heroes, we're here to talk about Sonic Adventure 2 and is it the perfect sequel? And what does it improve on compared to Sonic Adventure 1? Let's start with one major improvement, the story, as we have two sides of time and not six, the hero and the dark side. Both mix well pretty together, and it might take a little bit to talk about the story as it has some improvements and some stuff that's a little odd. I'll try my best to combine both the stories together as much as I can for this video. So here we go. The story begins with Eggman breaking into Prison Island to find the ultimate life form called Shadow the Hedgehog, who was sealed away for 50 years after Gunn seized majority of Gerald Robotnik's creations and such, but more on Gerald Robotnik later. So after escaping and taking out this really easy boss, Shadow and Eggman decide to escape and come up with a plan together. We later see Knuckles and Rouge fighting over the Master Emerald, and the show has shrunk a lot. Eggman comes in trying to take it, but it gets destroyed, and Rouge isn't too happy about it. So Knuckles and Rouge go and try and find each piece of the Master Emerald. I do find it a little funny how Rouge gets a tropical stage to search for the emeralds while Knuckles just moves a little bit forward into the canyon. After the whole Knuckles and Rouge thing, if you pick the hero campaign first, you'll get one of the most iconic opening cutscenes in the Sonic series. For some context, Shadow steals some of the Chaos Emeralds first from the bank and they confuse Sonic with Shadow. I don't really know how, they look nothing alike, but okay. Maybe it has to do with something with Terios, Shadow's original design. But either way, it leads to one of my favourite cutscenes in the series.
On board, over.
That's a 10-4. Cargo secured on board and... What?
Didn't copy that,
Hedgehog is
over.
gone. He's taken out everyone aboard and...
What's wrong?
What in the
Command,
world?
over.
Freeze! What do you think you're doing? Get that hedgehog!
Talk about low-budget flights, no food or movies. I'm out of here. I like running better. Yeah!
So we go through the city and escape it. See what I did there? Anyhow, I do want to say this is probably one of the best starting levels to any game in the Sonic series. It's so iconic with sliding down the road, the truck chasing you, but that's all for later. So Sonic fights his way through Gunn and meets the Faker himself, Shadow the Hedgehog. I really like how Sonic and Shadow are introduced and have the rivalry in this game, and this cutscene is an introduction for most people to Shadow, and I really like how it sets up the rivalry between them. And it really sets Shadow apart from someone like Metal Sonic or Knuckles, though Knuckles is more of an ally to us now. Slightly before we meet up with Sonic, we see Shadow flee away from Gunn with this emerald, and we get a flashback of Maria, Shadow's childhood friend, who has a deep bond with Shadow, but we don't see much of her besides her final moments and a few other little scenes here. I wish like in the third Sonic film they'd show a few more of them hang out, but we're only told they were close, so we just gotta believe what the game says. But I do like what's shown, and later games do kind of expand upon it, but I'm just here to talk about this game. I also want to mention one new thing to the series, Chaos Control, where the user can slow down time or teleport somewhere.
Jewel containing the ultimate power.
That's the Chaos Emerald! Now I know what's going on. The military has mistaken me for the likes of you. So, where do you think you're going with that emerald? Say something, you fake hedgehog!
Chaos Control!
Wow, he's fast! Hey, it's not his speed, he must be using the Chaos Emerald to warp.
Shadow, I'm the world's ultimate life form. There's no time for games. Farewell.
It makes the series feel more like a shonen anime, besides the whole Dragon Ball Super Saiyan Super Sonic thing, but I do like the shonen influence here. And I do have a soft spot for shonen, so. Sonic is arrested again, but I'm surprised they caught him twice. In the meantime, Rouge sneaks into Eggman's base in the desert, and she's a spy for Gunn, to see what Shadow and Eggman are up doing. Now, I don't understand how Rouge and Knuckles later find the keys with the radar. The emerald, sure, you know, like energy or something, but normal keys? Well, I guess they never lose keys in the Sonic universe. Driving cars also must be pretty easy in the Sonic universe, but considering most of them run at the speed of sound, I guess there isn't really much of a use for keys anyway. Moving on to Team Dark. Wait, that's for a different game. So Shadow and the others need the Chaos Emeralds to activate the Eclipse Cannon, which can destroy planets. Eggman wants it for his own reasons, maybe to make Eggman Land, and Shadow wants to wipe out everyone down below for what happened on the Ark 50 years ago, committing genocide in a Sonic game? So that checks out. To get the remaining emeralds, they need to go back to Prison Island. I find it kind of funny how Eggman is skeptical of Rouge, but then later says the exact location. Some moments like this does make the game seem like it was done in one draft, and we have way more moments later, or a few mistranslations, which early 2000s, I'll give it some passes. During the plan, Eggman runs into Amy and Tails, who want to rescue Sonic, though Amy kind of feels here just to be here, but she is useful a little bit later on. Though I do like her inclusion, but some parts do feel a little forced with her. And she does start one trend, which is hugging the wrong hedgehog. She does that to Shadow and then later on Silver. The only time she gets her eye is unleashed, but she still pushes him away thinking it's the wrong hedgehog. She really needs some glasses. Anyhow, Eggman threatens her, but Tails comes into the rescue. And we get the rivalry fights back from Sonic Adventure 1. But no more oh no. Now we get health bars and the fights going a little longer. Still easy, but an improvement. 15 seconds is better than 7, am I right guys? After the fight, Amy goes and rescues Sonic. I guess no more low budget fights, there's still no movies for him. Amy threatens Sonic with marriage, but frees him and we're off to Metal Harbor. I have to say quickly, Sonic has some of the best stages and I'm always excited to see his icon, but with Tails and Knuckles, depending on the stages, I always feel a bit but that's for later. Also, why does everyone call Shadow that Black Hedgehog and Rouge Batgirl, or Tails Fox Boys? It's like calling them sirs or something. No wonder why Sonic is arrested, and for what happened in City Escape. Yeah, not looking good for you Sonic there. Rouge is getting the Chaos Emeralds and Eggman gives her 15 minutes on this time limit, but she wants to do it in 5. Rouge, with the Nerf radar, please do it in 15. Rouge has a few stages that I really don't like Mad Space, but this stage is fine. Though since she works with Gun, why don't they give her the emeralds? And why did she have to fight the same boss as Sonic and Shadow? Not a good place to work for. Even worse, she gets trapped inside, so Shadow has to save her, while getting flashbacks of Maria. I do appreciate how the game shows that Shadow isn't fully evil, just lost and confused, after being sealed away for 50 years and some other stuff. Even the song that plays in White Jungle supports what Shadow is going through. Sonic and Shadow meet again and they have a little fight and...
Hey, that's...
That blue hedgehog again, of all places.
I found you. Faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Ha! You're not even good enough
I'll
to
make
be
you eat
my
those words.
During the fight, Sonic hears that the island is going to explode in 8 minutes, which adds tension to Green Forest. At least Sonic gets an accurate stage name, unlike White Jungle. After saving Rouge, we do get a little scene between Shadow and Maria, where Shadow asks who he is and all these philosophical questions a hedgehog would ask. It is nice seeing Shadow reflect, and more scenes with Maria would have been nice. And after that we get the famous Eggman pissing on the moon scene with the Eclipse Cannon.
Fucking wife, that's right. He took his hedgehog fucking quilly dick out and he pissed on my fucking wife and he said his dick was this big. And I said that's disgusting. So I'm making a call out post on my twitter.com. Shadow the Hedgehog, you got a small dick. It's the size of this walnut except way smaller. And guess what? Here's what my dong looks like. That's right, baby. All points, no quills, no pillows. Look at that, it looks like 2 balls in a bong. He fucked my wife, so guess what? I'm gonna fuck the earth. That's right, this is what you get. My super laser piss. Except I'm not gonna piss on the earth. I'm gonna go higher. I'm pissing on the moon. How do you like that, Obama? I pissed on the moon, you idiot!
The stuff that's CGI on the humans is nightmare fuel. After Eggman is having a hissy fit and Rouge gives the location of the last emerald, which Tails has after beating Eggman last time. I do like the callback, and I'm kinda glad the new games are doing the same, though I'll say more when we reach Frontiers. So after all that happens, Sonic and the gang see what Eggman did and they decide to go after him and chase him, while also being chased by a gun. We should be really looking for Eggman after he destroyed the moon, but whatever. Go chase him, I guess. Later, Knuckles joins up with the others after searching for all the emeralds. He really doesn't do much until he meets with them, so that's why I didn't really mention too much about Knuckles. It does feel a little awkward going from the mine to San Francisco zone. That's just the way I'm going to call it. But it's the Sonic universe, so what are you going to do? I do like how the story connects all the characters together, and it does a better job than Sonic Adventure 1. And it has no Big Big Cat. Though he does make little cameos in each stage, which is a nice little Easter egg. Getting back on track though, Tails chases after the President to hack into his limo to find where Dr. Eggman is. Though after a massive space desert, shouldn't it be obvious he's in space, and why the limo, but it's a Sonic game. Though Tails and Rouge get this annoying driving section. It's no Mario Kart, but I'm glad they only do it once more, I guess twice. Oh, and Rouge is after the emerald because Tails has it. But they escape beforehand. Though Shadow does chase after him, it does feel a little forced, but it does get Shadow one more stage. It only does feel a little forced because after we're going directly to Eggman in the desert, so I don't know, more stages, so I'm not complaining too much. We do spend a lot of time in the desert, but it can be summed up really easily as we break in. Knuckles fights off a rip-off Boo.
That was pretty rough.
We did it! Let's go, Amy! Yeah!
You little thieves. Did you really think we could out here?
Sonic and Eggman have a little fight with this golem. We get in a rocket, which is conveniently placed here, and we make it to the Ark.
Just leave it to me.
On. Beginning liftoff countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
But on the way, Knuckles loses some of the Master Emerald, while the others go and confront Eggman. Now in the Ark, we spend a lot of time here. Sonic and Co want to use the fake Emerald and shut down the Eclipse Cannon, while Knuckles and Rouge are fighting over the Master Emerald. Knuckles saves Rouge and he gets the emerald back, and they have a little bit of a weird awkward flirt.
Keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me.
Is that how you say thanks to someone who just saved your life?
Saving my life. Don't think I owe you one. You just wanted to hold my hand, didn't you? That's why you saved me. You're such a creep.
After that, Eggman has figured out they have a fake and a real emerald. So after Eggman figures out, we get one of the most iconic moments in the Sonic series where Eggman kidnaps Amy and forces Sonic and Tails to head back to save her. I'll let some of it play as I can't describe how amazing the scene is.
Let's take care of business first, shall we, Sonic? Hand over the Chaos Emerald, slowly, and then we'll talk about your girlfriend. That is, if you really care for her.
Handing over the fake emerald? I can kill two birds with one stone.
Put the emerald down right there and back off.
You've turned into a big-time villain, Doctor.
Whoa! You thought you could trick me with that fake emerald, didn't you?
So, how did you know it wasn't the real one?
Tails!
Because you just told me, Fox Boy. Now, for a little space ride. The capsule clears the colony. Bam!
I'm counting on you, Tails. Amy, take care of yourself.
Farewell, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic! It has the same wavelength and properties, but it's less powerful than the real one.
The same wavelength and properties. But can I do this?
Farewell, Sonic. my adversary. Now we have some unfinished business to take care of. If you give me the real emerald, I will release you both. You have my promise.
Sonic!
Huh?
Sonic asked me for the first time to do something for him. I won't let him down. I won't give up!
One thing I also really like is how Tails is taken seriously and challenges Eggman after all think Sonic is dead. But considering how many Sonic games come after this, I think it's safe to say he's still alive. A lot of people say it's an ass pull, how Sonic can use Chaos Control with the fake emerald and all. It is a little, even Sonic says he was surprised how it works. I personally don't mind it, but I can't fully say it's an ass pull. After that, Rouge tries to sabotage the entire plan, but Shadow catches him in 4K and Rouge confronts Shadow about his past and the real Ultimate Life Form. And then we get another very iconic moment. Sonic vs. Shadow round 2.
Surprise me, Blue Hedgehog. I thought that capsule you were in exploded in space.
You know, what can I say? I die hard.
So, there's more to you than just looking like me. What are you, anyway?
What you see is what you get. Just a guy that loves adventure. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
I see. But you know, I can't let you live. Your adventuring days are coming to an end.
Round 1 was kind of a tie. Round 2 kinda is also a tie, but it's implied Sonic wins. Now on to the final story, no more mixing and matching. Eggman activates the Eclipse Cannon, but there's not what he expected. But instead we see Gerald Robotnik, Eggman's granddad. During his death sentence, he threatens the world. Though, how did he pull this off? I mean, he's tied down to a chair, and he's about to get shot. But anyhow. We see his plans to crash the Ark into the Earth, wiping everyone out for what happened 50 years ago. I don't mind this plot thread, but it's handled very poorly and doesn't make too much sense. Like, how did he pull this off? The gang teams up, except for Shadow, and they all try to stop the Ark from crashing into Earth. I'll talk about the level quickly, as you can play as all the characters except for Shadow, and they all serve a purpose, but some parts of this stage can be really annoying, especially those artificial chaos enemies as Tails or Eggman. And there's a few more sections like the time stuff and the acid rooms, but those are kinda manageable when you get used to it, but I just wanted to mention it briefly. So after Sonic gets to the goal, Amy meets Shadow and they have a talk. Shadow says his plan has worked, but Amy tells him all about the good and bad things people have. And it reminds Shadow fully what happened, and he breaks free from Gerald Robotnik's mind control thing.
Shadow, I beg of you, please, do it for me. For Maria! Future, for all people who live on that planet, give them a chance to be happy. Let them live for their dreams. Shadow, I know you can do it. That's the reason why you were brought into this world. Sayonara.
So he goes around to try and help Sonic and Knuckles, who are fighting the Bio Lizard. Sonic and Knuckles will use the Master Emerald to cancel out the Chaos Summons, but the Bio Lizard appears, which blocks them for some time, but now it's time for Shadow vs the Bio Lizard. Some people say the Bio Lizard is random, but he is hinted throughout the game a lot. Larpers, goddamn. The fight is pretty fun, some sections do give me a bit of a challenge, but we do kick his ass. But after we beat him, I do like how Knuckles uses Tikal's prayer from Sonic Adventure 1.
Chaos is power. Power is enriched by the heart. The controller is the one that unifies the chaos. Only you can do this. Stop the chaos.
They managed to stop the Chaos Samuels, but the Bio Lizard uses Chaos Control to fuse with the Ark. And people say Sonic had an ass pull? The Bio Lizard can't even talk and he's using Chaos Control. Sonic and Shadow decide to work together to beat the Bio Lizard, with a pretty cool transformation with the iconic Live and Learn by Crush 40, who also did Open Your Heart and way more later on. The final battle is pretty easy, just aim for the big red orbs and dodge what you can. But if you go too far, you'll swap with the other character. I always try and get the final hit as Shadow, as it's kind of his fight, while Sonic is just here to save the world. While Shadow's kind of just doing it for his own sake and to help Maria and, you know. They do one final dap up, but it's not over yet.
I must destroy all the evil the Professor has created.
Shadow hears Maria's words one last time and decides to save the world.
Maria.
And crashes down to Earth while sacrificing himself so he can save Sonic, to make up for what he did. It's a fitting end, but with how popular he is, of course he'll come back. For better or for worse.
Chaos control!
Maria, this is what you wanted, right? This is my promise I made to you.
Where is Shadow?
Sonic tells everyone what happened and all the characters share a moment reflecting on what happened so far, and probably what's to come later. I think the ending is great and fits. The story is pretty good, some little issues, but overall it's fine, and same with the voice acting. But one major issue I have is sometimes the audio can overlap. Some of the voices and characters cut each other off at times. It's an improvement over SA1, and to be honest, I've had some of these issues too. Though I have to say the cutscenes are really well animated. They're a lot more expressive and show off all the characters and really convey their personalities well through it. No stretchy mouths or rolling eyes or other unique things that Sonic Adventure 1 has. For a story, I'd say it's an improvement over SA1, as it balances 2 stories and not 6. While each story has 3 characters, they work well together and not jumbled up like in SA1. Not to hate on SA1, as I really love that game and the story, but I think it takes what worked in the first game and improves on it and removes some of the bad. Though some stuff does feel convenient for the plot, but it's a game about a blue hedgehog who can run fast and turn into a Super Saiyan. I do like how both games take each other more seriously than the other games, like the Meta Era, which is just the Meta Era. The stories are normally pretty good in the Adventure series, and they help build the foundation for other games, especially a certain game that came out in 2006. Before I move on to the gameplay, I want to talk about how the characters are in this game. Some are similar to the first one, but some like Tails has learnt from what happened and is a lot more confident and can handle himself this time around. I do like how Tails is in the Adventure series, but it's sad how he goes back to being Sonic Shadow later on. Knuckles is basically the same in Sonic Adventure 1, not much difference, but I still like his portrayal in the Adventure series, and I like how him and Sonic have some moments where they play off each other. Though for a while this is the last time he's with the Master Emerald. Though I can see it getting repetitive having to deal with the Master Emerald, but they are connected as a part of his character arc, so... But let's move on to Eggman, and I like him in this game. He's so threatening and has a commanding presence, for someone who scratches his ass. Though for real, this is probably one of the best versions of Eggman, and his voice actor is really good here. He makes Eggman sound so threatening and goofy when needed. It really adds to Eggman's personality. Let's focus on the newcomers real quick. Rouge the Bat is a nice addition. She bounces off Shadow and Knuckles a lot. I also like how she's a spy. That's pretty cool and interesting. I like how she tries to understand Shadow and see what he's gonna do and see if he actually wants to go through with his plan. Now on to the most famous character of the game, the newcomer himself, Shadow the Hedgehog. A man hellbent on destroying the entire world, but lost within his own mind and memories. Questioning what's real and reacting to what he can, like saving Rouge, but trying to bury his feelings deep down. What's really interesting about Shadow in this game is that he believes he's doing the right thing and that his revenge is justified, but later learns that it isn't and tries to live on with what happened. And the last main character himself, Sonic, who is very similar to his Sonic Adventure 1 counterpart, though the only real difference here is the shoes. He jokes around still, and he knows when to be serious. Though even in serious situations, he may joke around, but with his body language, it shows how he's responding to the situations around him and how he tries to take control. Also, I want to mention Amy really quickly, who feels a little forced, but when she's needed, she delivers. Like talking Shadow of his revenge plan. While not as memorable as in Sonic Adventure 1, she still has her moments. I also want to mention the voice acting just really quickly. It's improved a bit from Sonic Adventure 1, but you do need subtitles because the music can overlap sometimes. Though I've made the same mistake before, but I just wish ports would have tweaked it just a little. Everyone does sound great here, my favourite being Sonic and Shadow of course. The voices have grown on me on each time I play the games. Though Tails is my least favourite, the cutscenes are great, but some of the CGI ones haven't aged so well, especially that creepy blonde kid. Scary. But the in-game cutscenes are really great and those animations are still amazing, and hold up even now, which is a bonus. Now let's talk about the gameplay. It's a lot simpler as we have 6 characters but 3 gameplay styles: speed, treasure hunting, and the new mech styles. Sonic and Shadow handle the speed levels. They're very similar to Sonic Adventure 1. We do have a nerf spin dash, and we can still get upgrades in levels. And some from the past game are easier, like the light dash, no more having to wait a few seconds to charge it up. Sonic gets 6 stages, and the majority of them are very good, except Crazy Gadget. The gravity gimmick is just weird, and I don't like the stage that much. The rest are really fun and neat, like City Escape, Green Forest, and Final Rush. Pyramid Cave is fine, and same with Metal Harbor. Good levels, but not my fave. But the rock in Metal Harbor is very iconic, and I like that. Since we're here, I want to discuss why I prefer these levels over Sonic Adventure 1. City Escape is the first level and one of the most iconic stages with one of the most iconic songs. The level starts with snowballing down the city, destroying cars, the usual things a Blue Hedgehog does. No wonder why they want him arrested. After that, it's a normal stage that teaches the gimmicks for the speed characters, which is rail grinding, the new gimmick. If the balance on this rail for a bit so Sonic doesn't fall off, then in later games it becomes more automatic. Later we run away from a gun truck, it's also pretty iconic. City Escape is just peak. What else can I say about it? Well, lots more, but we'll be here for hours and hours. I want to mention Shadow real quick, as he's the same as Sonic but doesn't get as many upgrades as Sonic. My favourite stage has to be White Jungle. Shame only gets 4 levels, and my least favourite has to be Sky Rail. All the cheats are really good, it's just that one doesn't hold up compared to the others. Radical Highway is also fun and a great start for Shadow. I also like how some of the songs reflect his state of mind. Some will be instrumentals or will have lyrics. It's also one reason why I really love White Jungle. So much with the song, it adds tension to the level and with what happens with the story. I shouldn't say it affects, as, you know, the level should be by itself, but it is amazing also by itself, and I think these things just add to it, not take away. And Shadow's last stage is just a fun challenge, like Sonic's Final Rush, but now it's Final Chase. Both of these levels use rail grinding and most stuff that the levels taught us to make a great challenge and test our skills in our final challenge. See what I did there? Anyhow. We have 2 more gameplay styles to mention, but these levels are the height of the game. And gameplay styles, of course. The others are a mixed bag. I will say these stages build off what Sonic Adventure 1 sets out to do, while the other ones take away a lot of aspects that made Sonic Adventure 1 great. Like the treasure hunting stages, they're handled by Knuckles and Rouge, and they're fine at first, but the nerf radar makes these stages drag out, and there's only so much we can do. The radar now has green, yellow and red, but no more blue, which is fine, but blue made it kinda easier, but it's not much of a big deal. The early stages are fine, but something like Mad Space or Meteor Herd are hell. The wide stages and everything just feels weird and they just drag out so long. Especially Mad Space with that damn upside down gimmick with the monitors. That's one thing I also don't like too, the monitor hints suck. Sonic Adventure 1 had to Cole, who was way better and was helpful, and she'd actually guide you when you're lost. Also, getting one emerald at a time is really painful, especially when the stage just keeps going and going. The latest stages took me at least over 10 minutes to beat, and one was me trying to open up a box of Rouge. The final gimmick are the mech stages, and damn, when I see them I always feel grumpy. They're not bad, but after a while they just get so boring and repetitive. Tails and Eggman handle these stages, and what can I say besides they drag the game down for me. What annoys me is when you think the level should end, but it keeps dragging and dragging for a few more minutes. Though, I do prefer Eggman's levels over Tails. I do want to cover a few things before the video ends, like the soundtrack. I personally think is one of the best pieces of Sonic music, like Live and Learn, Escape from the City, Rhythm and Balance, Go Soup, Dive into Mellow, Eggman's theme, and finally Supporting Me. Also the remix songs from the past games from Sonic Adventure 1 are also him, and they're very good too. I really can't think of a track I don't like here. Also the game has multiplayer, but since it's just me, I didn't play it. I played the battle version for this video, where they add more characters to multiplayer and some other things, but it's available on PC. I personally think Sonic Adventure 2 is better than Sonic Adventure 1, but when the game wants to be annoying, it can be really annoying. Like those damn driving levels and the treasure hunting in the last stages. So much was improved, like the story and the final story, where we have levels and 2 bosses, while Sonic Adventure had a great final boss and some open world stuff. But without the open world, I think Sonic Adventure 2 flows better. And without Sonic Adventure 1's final boss and a few other things, Sonic Adventure 2 wouldn't be as great as it is. And honestly, it's way better than I remembered it being. Everything just improved. Especially the Chao Garden, but that's for its own video, as I don't think it can do it justice in its retrospective. But I want to make it for its own video. Anyhow, if you made it to the end of the video, I want to say thank you. I hope you check out my other videos, and if you made this far, do the YouTube stuff like comment, like, and subscribe, as it helps out in this little hobby. And yeah, I just want to say thank you guys again. Anyhow, take care and bye bye.